Good Saturday afternoon. I'm Wright Gasway in this Saturday for Harley. She's got the weekend off, so let's get straight to today's news. We are streaming on all of our digital devices as well as Facebook. If you're watching on Facebook, feel free to jump into the comments there. If you have some questions related to the stories we're discussing or anything else you've seen in the last couple of days, ask them there. If I can answer it, I will answer it. If I can't, I'll come back to it later and be sure to give you that answer. We start over in the Low Country. The Beaufort County Sheriff's Office is investigating a home invasion on Ladies Island. Listen to this. Multiple suspects entered a home on Hilda Avenue. They demanded cash and other items from the victims. As they left, the suspects stole a black 2014 GMC Duramax pickup truck. That truck has Alabama license plates 65AS312. It is there on your screen. If you have any information about this stolen truck, get in touch with deputies there, 843-524-2777. Once again, this video will stay up. You can go back and watch that. If you have any information, feel free to reference that number and give them a call. Now back to Savannah. We continue to follow a story we broke to you this morning on Daybreak. Georgia State troopers say a 64-year-old man crashed into two cars and a house. We now have a photo of that suspect. Here he is. This is James Oliver. Troopers say his blood alcohol content at the roadside there when they pulled him over was 3 times the legal limit. Oliver was driving south on Jefferson Street when he ran into the stop sign at 37th Street. That's when state troopers say Oliver hit another car carrying 5 passengers and then ran over a telephone pole. The car ran through an entire block of front yards, destroying the landscape and the fences there. Troopers say the crash happened around 12:30 this morning. Oliver left the scene of that crash and then ran into a car and a house at 52nd Street and Barner Street. 6 people were taken to the hospital. Troopers say all 5 of the victims in the car he hit were awake when Chatham Emergency Services took them to the hospital. Frightening story there. Definitely glad no one was seriously injured. Now back to the Low Country here. Smoke detectors saved a family of 6 from a fire in Burton. These are pictures from the Burton Fire District. Around 11:30 last night, the Burton Fire District and the Marine Corps Air Station Beaufort Fire Department responded to the home. It was on the corner of County Shed and Rosita Roads. A woman says she was cooking on the stove when a grease fire started. 2 smoke detectors did go off and they woke up the 3 children inside. Those 3 children aged from just a year old to 10 years old. The family of 6 was able to get out safely once again. Burton fire officials say the smoke detectors were key to saving their lives. Firefighters do give away free smoke detectors and can train you to use a fire extinguisher. If you need either, just email the Burton Fire District. I'm sure you can also give them a call. Here's a pretty funny story involving South Carolina and Georgia, and depending on which state you live in, you might side with either one. The peach wars between each state is getting a little bit juicier. For the background here, South Carolina's Department of Agriculture says their state produces 3 times as many peaches as Georgia, which is known as the peach state. The South Carolina Agriculture Department has said the state's peach crop is usually valued at about $90 million annually. Here in Georgia, they've estimated that a good peach crop is worth about $50 million. However, Georgia's Department of Agriculture says its peaches are 3 times sweeter. Now, both states want you to decide who has the better peaches by participating in a peach off this weekend. All you have to do is take a trip down to a local farmer's market, take a picture, and tag the State Department of Agriculture to help that state win. To a more serious story tonight, we are following up on a double homicide involving a former Glenn County cop. Former Lieutenant Robert Sasser, as you might remember, is the only suspect in the murders of his ex-wife Katie and another man named John Hall. Tonight we are getting our first look at some body camera video from a domestic incident involving Sasser, Katie Sasser, and John Hall on May 13th. In this case, police say Sasser forced himself into his ex-wife's home. Now, a month and a half after this happened, officers say Sasser then drove to John Hall's home in McIntosh County and killed the pair. Officers have stopped short of accusing Sasser, but they do say he is the only suspect in this case. They are still trying to determine if he committed suicide or possibly died from self-defense shots fired by Hall. Tonight, Katie Sasser was laid to rest. I'll have much more from that body camera video tonight at 6 and 11, as well as what we know about Sasser and his past at the Glenn County Police Department. Hope you join us for that. We've got so much more. We're working on some good stories, and we have all of that for you tonight at 6, tonight at 7, and again at 11. Don't forget, though, news never stops. We're online. We're on our Facebook page. We're on our website, WTOC.com, as well as our news app. We have the Roku app, so much more. Connect with us on all of that. Follow us, like us. Go ahead and go like my Facebook page, too. I'll share some news there, and I can always use the likes. Thank you for joining us. I'm going to take a second to answer some questions here. Barbara wants to know if it's still raining in Richmond Hill. I am not the weather person. I can check with Andrew and see. It's not raining in this newsroom, I can tell you that. It did stop a little while ago, although it was pouring when I got in here, and we had some lightning strikes nearby, actually caused us to lose power. Most people saying hello. Hello to all you guys. Glad you guys are watching. Thanks for tuning into these digital newscasts. We are glad you guys like them. We like doing them. I'll see you tonight at 6, 7, and 11. Andrew will see you back here at 8, right? 8 o'clock for the weather update. Thanks for joining us. Have a great night.